And now the Michael Maris Show presents another wonderful episode of Kids Say the Damnedest Things.
Mike.
Darndest.
That's
kids
better.
present.
Sweet, smart things. We welcome Take Your Daddy to Workday and Stacy Ronick along with Gwen Spiewak. They're both here with their fathers, and they've come into the studio. So let's say hi to Stacy Ronick first. Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
Hi, Gwen.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
How's it going today? Can you get a little closer to the microphone?
Yes.
No, I'm kidding, of course. Anyway, it's Maya Ronick.
Yeah.
And it's also Julia Spiewak.
Boo.
Hi, girls.
Not about.
Are you
Hi.
glad? Are you glad that your daddies took you to work today?
Yes.
Or is
yes.
it just finally getting boring being in Mr. O'Mara's house on a weekday when you could be doing things more fun?
No, it's okay.
How's the spring break holiday going, Maya?
Pretty good.
Julia, are you enjoying yours?
Yes.
What's the best part about spring break?
Sleeping in.
Sleeping in.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Now,
Takes
Maya,
after
what
another.
what grade are you in?
4th.
You're in 4th grade.
Wow.
And Julia, what grade are you in?
6th.
6th. So you guys are fairly close in age. I mean, at this age, it's a bit of a separation, but you can still have fun and hang out together. And you guys have been become quite close, right? Good friends, aren't you?
Right.
You're pals. Let's talk about your dads.
That didn't take long.
Who wants to go first? Maya wants to go first.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Maya, do you like your dad dressing up with a suit and tie every day for work?
No.
Why is that?
Well, naturally, he wears T-shirts.
Yes, I know. He's very sloppy.
His natural environment.
He's very sloppy.
Yeah, that's his
Thanks.
habitat.
Yes. So you like him in T-shirts instead of the shirt and tie?
Yes, it makes him unique from all the other business managers. He doesn't have to be the same.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Why does
Good
that?
point.
Why does that sound like that idea? Perhaps didn't come from.
I
Maya?
have not coaxed her at all
Perhaps
on
that.
this.
Why do I think that
What's-
this was?
What's that written on her palm?
Maya, what do you usually say to me when you see me dressed up in the morning for work?
Have you stood up to Mike yet?
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy
Yes, he
crap.
has. Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Maybe
Yes.
too much.
Yes, quite a bit. As a matter of fact, more than anybody else on the show.
Maybe that's why he has a uniform.
Yeah.
But he is the sort of the business face of this. So when he goes out in the world and sees other people, like people that are in radio at radio stations that do what he does, they all have to wear that kind of silly uniform. So that's it.
Yeah.
But,
Like most DJs are overweight, so
Yes.
you know,
Oh.
that's how we work.
Yeah, that's a good transition for Julia, isn't
Yes.
it?
yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. Shall we?
Saying.
I've got a very simple question for you, Julia. What did you have for dinner last night at the Spiewak's house? What was for dinner last night?
Lasagna ravioli.
Kick ass.
Sounds good.
It was amazing.
Did you have dessert?
No.
No dessert last night.
But we
Really?
did have bread.
Yes. Buttered bread.
What? Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
You don't fill up on bread. do you?
Buttered bread?
Can I ask you about your butter situation at your home? So your father says that he likes to keep the butter he goes within arm's reach and stacked right on your kitchen counter.
When did I ever hold on? When did I
I
ever
thought you
say
said
anything
something like
about?
that.
No, I never said it about proximity.
It's about temperature.
It's about temperature.
Okay,
you tard.
temperature. But where
Hey, let's not argue in front
where
of
is
the
it?
children.
Where is it located in your kitchen?
In the fridge and in the butter holder next to the toaster.
Okay,
perfect.
Close to
Close.
the toaster.
Handy.
Never too far.
What do you, Julia, since we're on the subject, and it's just fascinating to me and I'm enjoying it, what's your dad's favorite food? What does he get excited about? Or no, better yet, what does he eat more often than anything else in the house? What does he eat like on a regular basis? What does he always seem to be eating?
You know what? It's lucky this isn't a bonus show.
I'm not even sure where you're going to go with that.
I'm just Julia. Answer the man's question.
What does your dad eat on a regular basis? What's his favorite snack?
He likes the Costco mac and cheese.
Love it.
Really? See, I wouldn't think of that as a snack, but I guess if you
Yeah.
keep it handy with a large spoon, you could probably dig into it at any time.
I'm not a big snacker. More of a meal guy.
Really?
Yeah.
You're
What
not
else?
a big snacker?
Not really.
Like, you don't sit in front of the tube watching one of your old movies with a bag of something?
Well, unless like a bag of beer.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a big snacker.
That's interesting. That's fascinating to me.
Isn't it? Get
But
it
you know what he really likes?
What's that?
Ice cream with Nutella on top.
Do love that.
Ice cream with
Nutella.
Nutella.
Bon, bon,
as,
bon.
as opposed to like chocolate syrup or something. What's his favorite ice cream?
I don't know. Probably vanilla.
Vanilla with Nutella.
Really?
Yeah.
Vanilla with Nutella.
Actually, she doesn't know. It's Cherry Garcia.
Oh, yes.
okay.
Ben
Me
Jerry.
too.
Yeah,
Right.
but
Maya likes
if we have just vanilla ice cream, which we keep, as a staple, if you've never had it with a spoonful of Nutella on top, Mike, you're really cheating
You call
yourself.
it Nutella?
Or Nutella.
Isn't that the
Nutella.
way the Germans pronounce it?
Well, the Germans have a different
Surprise.
outlook on lots of things.
Nutella.
Can I ask another question?
Please do.
Okay, so growing up, I was deprived of many things, and one of those things was dessert in my household.
And grammar.
It feels. I guess I have an inclination here that you guys probably just don't have dessert on Fridays. When do you guys have dessert through the week? When you want to, or is it offered every day?
When we want to, and when my mom says, "No, you already had dinner."
Oh, okay, that's fair. So
And how's the puppy doing? How is the puppy doing now?
He
Linus doing well?
likes to bite our feet, but it's okay.
He likes to bite, but do you love the dog?
Yeah, I do.
Is it great? And are you doing everything you said you would do in the house if you got a puppy? Are you keeping your room clean?
No.
Really?
Ah.
Well, that's
Why not?
Did your dad tell you about that option he had for returning the dog if you don't keep your room clean?
There's a clause.
There's
He
a
won't
clause.
return the dog.
He loves the dog,
He
right?
loves
I have one last.
Who loves your
question.
dog? Just real quick, who loves the dog more, your dad or your mom?
My dad.
Oh, really? That's
Who does
nice.
the dog love more?
The pantry.
Who does
The pantry. The dog does love the pantry.
The pantry.
Who does your dad love more? The dog, your brother, or you?
The pantry.
Oh no!
Wow.
You have one of three choices.
Strange answer.
Yes, Julia. And here's
Not really
That, to
strange.
me, that might be time for the couch. Rob.
Oscar
I'm not
doesn't.
sure.
Oscar doesn't have the guts to say it, but
Yes.
gun to your head.
Like any day.
Go ahead. You can answer, and then I have a follow-up question.
The dog.
Okay, good. Follow-up question: of all the people in this room, excluding you two girls, who does Dad hate the most?
Mark.
There it
I
is.
knew it.
Not the answer I was
knew
looking
it.
for.
I
Let's
knew
let's move on over to Maya.
boy.
Let's move over to
Yeah.
Maya. So you
Yeah.
talked about the fact you don't like your dad
Wrong
wearing
answer.
you don't like your dad wearing the suit and tie every day. What is the best thing about your dad? What's the thing he does that you like the most?
Makes you really happy.
He edits my videos.
Oh, that's very sweet of
Good
him.
to have a good
Maya's
editor.
a big film director. She loves
Right.
to video.
So you both have that in common, right? You, Julia and Maya, you both like making movies together,
And
right?
I also like to Instagram.
Oh, you do?
She's
Ah,
big on
that's
Instagram
awesome.
right now.
Are those your glasses or are they fake glasses?
They're fake.
They're fake?
The personality
mic.
glasses.
They're
Very nice.
personality
Lens.
glasses?
You look sort of
And-
like a swishy Buddy Holly.
And here's a great question for you, Maya. What does your dad do that annoys you the most?
Oh, these are good questions.
He snores.
Go.
Oh, really? And that's the most annoying thing?
Maya, I know the other one.
One of them.
It's when I correct you with grammar.
Oh,
See, you're
yeah,
doing
I
it
hate
now.
when he corrects me with
See,
grammar.
I know how that feels.
Do you hate it when he like jumps in and like finishes sentences for you and stuff like that?
I don't think he does that.
Okay, he doesn't do that.
Thank
That's
you.
good. He just did, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It really wasn't finishing a sentence. It was just giving you a suggestion.
He
and
was
a-
correcting her
an
again.
He
idea.
was correcting me.
And since we're on dogs today, how's your dog Lucy doing?
She gets really muddy.
Yeah.
And now because when I'm in this studio, that's really him, right?
That's actual
That's
tape of
mine.
Mark.
This is tape of your dad snoring. Does this sound familiar?
A lot.
It does.
Wow.
This was recorded during yesterday's news.
This is why he has to room with RJ.
He does snore.
Wow, let's get one more. Here we go. I still that's right up with another bodily function that I think is pretty damn funny.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
That is absolutely.
Mark, have you ever snored yourself awake?
You know what? Normally I don't. I'm such a sound sleeper that it takes a lot to wake
You know,
me
you
up.
snore yourself awake when you have apnea. I have that sleep apnea.
Yeah.
You know what that is because you stop.
Right.
You're
Stop breathing.
snoring.
Stop
So
breathing.
this is how I can do. Would you like to see this, Maya? I know you enjoy some of my comedy, so I'll do this for you. This is when I snore and I have sleep apnea, and I actually stop breathing with my sleep apnea, and then I wake myself up. So it goes something like this. I hope it translates a little bit on the radio,
think
but
it
a
will.
little bit for you stream as well. So I will do that for you right now. Okay.
Well, it's good that you wake up.
And
Thank you.
when you wake up,
Kyle used to freak out when I do
I was going to
that.
say when you
Sure.
wake up, is Carlo's reaction of Oh.
Yep. She goes,
Don't!
snaps her fingers and goes, yeah. Okay.
Next time for sure.
Oh, I've enjoyed this segment of Kids Corner. It's been a lot of fun, and we're going to end it, of course, with just one word. Okay, one word to describe your dad. Now, think about it. Pause. I'm going to give you one word to describe your dad, and we will start with Maya. Okay, Maya, one word to describe your dad.
Weirdo.
Why, thank you, dear.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in a unique way,
Right.
You know.
And now, and I can see the wheels turning as we speak because she is a spiewak and she has that mind.
Mm-hmm.
One word, and please do not use pantry, to
Although probably applicable here.
one word to describe your dad, Julia.
Poop.
Wow. That's fascinating.
Can we start the show,
Let's
please?
start the show. Get the hell out of here, kids.
Best guy.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful... Give yourselves a round of applause. You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely. And while you're in the clapping mood, I'd like to give a big round of applause to my band, Sexual Chocolate. Sexual Chocolate. They play so fine, don't you agree? I believe the children are our future. Thank you. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, you can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all inside of me. Yeah. Sexy chocolate.
God damn, that boy can sing. You must be crazy. He good. You must be crazy.
Coming to you live from Mike O'Mara's living room studio in the historic radio district of Manassas, Virginia, a bustling suburb of the nation's capital. It's the Mike O'Mara Show, featuring Buzz Burbank with Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana. And now, from his couch, here's Mike.
Live from the Ivy Room inside Studio 1K in the Pfeifferplex Broadcast Center, right next to Cappy Rock. This is the Mike O'Mara Show.
Yeah.
Downloaded worldwide 17.5 million times and powered by Encore Insurance. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, 102.9 FM WTNT in Washington, D.C., and the mighty 1630 KCJJ in Iowa. Today is Wednesday, March 27, 2013, and we are brought to you by Encore Insurance Services. You don't do it anymore.
We haven't done it in years.
Do it again.
All right, can you do the line again?
Today's show is brought to you by
Encore
Insurance Services
Oh, it feels
LLC.
so good.
The people who bring you this show every weeknight on 102.9 WTNT. Even if you already have that life insurance, you know you're probably paying too much, because I've got news for you. Insurance companies, sometimes they charge you more than they should.
Yeah, that's their gimmick.
Here's a suggestion for you. You should check out Encore at smartterm.com. Call them at 866-347-5748. They will compare rates.
They shop around.
The best way to do it, and then they will help you save. Licensing and disclaimer info at smartterm.com. Let them know that you appreciate them as much as we appreciate them. That's Encore Insurance Services.
Encore!
I had a conversation with our friends at Encore yesterday, and they are very thankful and happy that our listeners have supported them a lot this year. So thank
That's
you.
great
Seems to
news.
be a trend in
Love
our
that,
listening
yeah.
audience, and we talk about it a lot, but God bless you all for supporting our advertisers on the Mike O'Mara Show. We are truly, truly grateful for that. On the program today, we really haven't talked about Easter, and it sure as hell doesn't feel like Easter.
No, it doesn't.
And my father, God rest his soul, said to me a long time ago, he said, March is the cruelest month, but this seems a little crueler than it really should be.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we came back from Florida, and it was winter, and I sound like Jackie Mason, and we're doing this thing with all the
snow on the ground.
like that. It just, I cannot possibly tell you how
Where's spring?
I want to be out of doors.
I
We
felt
all
it
do.
today. I'm driving Julia in today, and it's her spring break, middle of spring break, and I look, and it's 42 degrees.
Sucks.
We got the cabin fever, and I think it's why so many people are so grumpy. I mean, you and I have talked about this, Mike. We've seen it on
Oh, that's
Facebook.
BS, Buzz.
I disagree.
Right.
but yeah, and everybody's ready, I think, to be in a better mood, and I think nicer weather would bring that. It would for me.
I want to have a yard
agree with
sale,
you.
man. I want to have another yard sale.
You got a lot of things to sell.
I want to get on my motorcycle. I want to take
Yeah.
walks in the nice 70-degree weather. I want to go. I want to hear the birds. And it's flipping Easter this Sunday. That's supposed to be bonnets and things in people's hair and eggs and all that
I
crap.
hope you save the receipt for your bonnet.
My bonnet?
Yeah, because you might have to give it back.
My what do they call the things you wear under the old skirts? The
petticoat?
Petticoats.
Yeah, very
bonnets
nice.
and petticoats and all that crap. Well, it sucks.
A lot of people don't realize this, but when Mike does walk in the springtime, he is surrounded by animated birds.
I love Manassas the Zit in the springtime. Yes.
Speaking of Easter, if I do recall, last year Rob tried desperately to get into the White House Easter egg hunt.
That's right.
Yeah, the egg roll.
Did you try that last
Oh
year?
yeah, and no luck. And
What, with Robert?
Yeah, for both. I applied for all three kids.
And they
Julia,
didn't let
Robert,
you
and
in?
Jabril. No, there was no luck. Even when you do it, it's a lottery.
You know how old I am?
What?
Do you know the last one I was at as a celebrity?
What?
Well,
Oh,
Reagan was president.
that's how old
Really?
I am.
You've
Yes,
been
that
there?
is they have an airport named after a guy where I was at the White House for his Easter egg
Wow.
roll.
Yeah, I didn't even try this year, and as a matter of fact, I've heard rumblings that it's canceled due to budget cuts.
Yeah,
yeah, I've
the
heard that too.
sequestration has maybe canceled it.
Yeah, so
I think that's fine.
did not try. We got no plans for Easter in my house.
You are such a
neither.
curmudgeon. Is
No.
that because you don't like children?
No, it's because it's so exclusive. Not everybody can get in. It's very, very limited. I think, I could be wrong, but isn't it to a large degree who you know?
It's just the way you said
I
that. It's like,
imagine.
we're going to cancel the Easter egg roll. And Buzz goes, well, then fine.
That's good because the Burgermeister Meisterburger over there is saying no toys allowed in Happyville.
That's right.
Couldn't Angie Goff get you into that?
I didn't even go that far. I went. Way I understood it is I think every senator and representative gets 4 invites.
I think that's it.
and then there's a lottery for the remaining tickets.
Do you have any sweet music? Like really super, like heart-tugging sweet music?
I can look. Yeah.
All right, let me tell a story because it comes in halfway through.
Okay.
But I love to tell. This is my Easter memory. It just popped into my head.
Oh,
This
good.
is
An
one of
Easter
my-
story.
This is one of my true Easter moments. And
Gather
this,
the kids around the radio set.
everybody loves their children. I want to preface that. But
Well,
there are moments
Not
that...
after today.
Yeah, I was going to say. Sometimes it's a challenge.
That's Weirdo and Poop talking.
They're just doing a bit.
Yeah, they're doing shtick. I wouldn't want a happy answer. So
You didn't get called poop.
up at the place where I play golf, which are children of men that do that on a regular basis, would fall into the competitive category.
Sure,
The
naturally.
fact that you play a game and you take it seriously, which if you are at a country club where people play golf, you obviously have taken golf seriously enough where you want to pursue this hobby significantly and get out there. So you've got by nature competitive people. You do. That's just the way it is.
It's natural.
You don't have a lot of people that are like, yeah, whatever. People that are whatever aren't going to play a sport. They're not going to do that. So every year, when I lived up in that part of the world, my children were very, very small, was the annual Easter egg hunt that they have. And that's what I remember as a kid. I remember a memory from my community where they had a competition for the most Easter eggs you could gather. And then they had the silver egg and the golden egg.
yeah.
And I don't know how old I was. I think I was 8 or 9 years old, and I found the golden egg in like the notch of a tree, and I won a Parcheesi game, and it was like one of the greatest Easters
sure.
I've ever. I was like, I got, not that I won the. Who cares about? I didn't even know what. I probably couldn't even pronounce it.
But it
I
looks
said,
impressive.
I got the golden egg. I got that.
This is so exciting for Mark and foreign because he doesn't
yeah.
observe Easter.
Do you do Easter egg rolls? Have you ever done or
Yes,
Easter egg hunts?
I have because Melissa is Christian, so I go celebrate and do the whole Easter egg hunt and all that stuff with Maya.
It's fun, but it's all kids. It's a kid
It's a kid
activity.
activity,
Sure.
yeah.
But here's the problem. What's frustrating is that me. I'm sorry. I should have.
okay.
I should have.
Maybe it's the
shut
Easter
that up.
Bunny.
I
Please
sincerely
silence your
apologize for
phones
that.
when entering the theater.
So-
I'm sorry, they need the Parcheesi game back.
It was
Mike.
so great because we go up there and it's lots of fun to be around, the kids and see them. And outside of that, I stand off to the side and it's like, go have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are inevitably the parents. And I talked about this way back when it happened.
Yeah, I remember.
There are the parents that consider it a competition. And these are parents that really just put them in the back of a truck and just send them away to crappy parent land.
Yeah.
Winning and losing is vicarious for them. If the kid wins or loses, gets the golden egg or doesn't, they take it personally. The parents do.
You literally have parents, this beautiful day. It's a beautiful spring day. Everybody's dressed in their Sunday go-to-meeting clothing, and it's
Are
really
you in
delightful.
a fabulous seersucker suit
It's
and a
just
straw
nice.
boater?
Everybody looks good.
Yeah.
And they start and said, okay, go. And they blow a whistle or something, and the kids go, and you have these parents, go on, Deb, over here. And then you have the parents walking around the perimeter that are helping.
Yeah, that's not right.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm just within 3 minutes, I'm getting progressively more depressed, and just this is so not what it should be. And kids that are too old are participating.
Well, who's running? Who's running this mess?
Some
dope. Somebody should be roping those parents in.
It's run by the Chinese.
It's just it doesn't have to
control
be
everything.
It doesn't have to be run. If you've got parents that are just a little responsible,
Yeah,
you know what
but
I mean?
we
It
don't.
doesn't have to be handled like that. And so during all this, I look over at my ex-wife and I say to her, look at this. This and
The
we're
second one?
Yeah, this is number 2 that I had kids with.
That's the one.
And you're just looking, and I'm watching this. I'm just shaking my head,
Yeah.
and I look down, and I see my youngest, Elizabeth, who I think was 4 or 5 at the time, and she is standing next to a 3-year-old who is much smaller than she is, because at that age there's that differentiation.
Yeah.
And I look at her, and she is one by one taking half of her eggs.
Oh, that's great.
And putting them in the little kid's basket.
Aw.
Not an adult anywhere near her.
Right.
Doing this on her own. And at that moment, I love my kids, but I fell in love with my daughter.
Well, of course.
It was just, you don't see kids do that type of thing. And it was just, it wasn't even sharing. It was, this was a competition who gets the most eggs. And Elizabeth said, well, I want to help the little and Elizabeth has forever been terrific with little babies. She's always been wonderful. I'm really looking forward to
That'll come in handy.
Yeah, hopefully it will.
Mark actually did that at one of his first Easter egg hunts, and I remember he turned to me and he said, "You should have more because they're cheaper if you buy 12."
And after that happened, she came up, and then my other daughter came around the corner, and I was just so moved and touched. I said to both of them, I said, "Let's get the F out of here." It's just,
but
that's
someone should rope in those parents, in my opinion. I mean, you shouldn't have to. You're right when you say that. A parent should know better, but sadly and clearly they don't.
They do not.
So somebody needs to rein them in.
Why does everything have to be a competition in America? I mean, all our television shows are competition now. That's what it is. It's competition constantly. But I do look forward. That's a little part of the world that in a couple of years, if I'm surviving, I look forward to actually participating in an Easter egg hunt with my kid.
Did you ever color eggs and hide them like?
I've put on Easter egg hunts in houses, in backyards. I'm an old wily veteran at that.
Good.
Yeah, in my foreign upbringing, our Easter egg hunt went down in our living room.
Makes me laugh to hear that. What was the tradition, the Bolivian tradition?
Yeah, what
My
kind of
parents'
animal
living
hides
room.
them?
This is how foreign and I guess lazy to do something fun for us was.
Easter, obviously, it's Catholic, so you have Easter in Bolivia.
We go to Mass early in the morning.
Right.
Palm Sunday was last Sunday.
The week before, right?
Does a rabbit hide it in Bolivia, or is it a different animal? It's like a donkey that hides the eggs?
What my mom and dad did, and I imagine it was my mom, because my dad was probably in Ethiopia or somewhere around the world.
Now, I know I'm playing Mexican music for Bolivia, but you know what we need? I just realized it.
What?
We have this, and I think this is overused.
Oh, I love it, though.
I like it, but you can replace that perhaps with something that involves the pan flute.
Yeah, that would be
That'd
perfect.
be good.
The pan,
Yeah, like the Amazon.
That's
kind
my
of music?
people.
Those
my
are
people.
Do you have anything like? Do you have any Zamfir?
Let me see what I have. I know I have the Bolivian national anthem,
Well, yeah,
but it's not
that's what we oughta
recognizable.
have.
No, it's pan flute music. It's Zamfir music. I'll know it when I hear it. You see it sometimes, like at shopping malls.
Yes, of course. Here's the Bolivian national anthem at shopping malls. Now, should you stand?
I don't even recognize it. That's how American
Look
I
up
am.
in your collection. Do you have any?
I'm looking for Zamfir now.
Let me see if I can recreate it. It's like
I could do it for you. We have a pan flute at my parents' house.
you can play it.
I can't play it,
It's
but I
under the
picked it up as
printers.
a little kid and ran around the house trying to play it.
So getting back to your tradition of Bolivian Easter.
That's right.
So think of a mid-level, I guess, 3-story townhouse. And my memories of any type of Easter was coming back from Easter Mass.
Right.
And my mom saying, okay, it's tiempo para for the Easter egg hunt. Right? It's time for the Easter egg hunt.
Right.
And my sister, who was at this point like mid-teens, so it wasn't her bag, but my brother and I would be really excited about it.
Right.
And so I would be like, oh, we're going to an Easter egg hunt, because all my American friends went to an actual they went to a park or they went to someone's house.
Community centers would have them. They're big deals with big prizes and lots of fun.
So I gear up like we're going on an adventure. And my brother says, "Why are you putting on a backpack? Because you want to feel like you're doing something special." Mm-hmm. And my brother would say, "No,
your living room.
The hunt's in the living room," and he would point to our living room. Yes, and I say, okay." So then we'd stumble into the living room, and my mom, God bless her soul, was so lazy she would hide the Cadbury eggs. Not really like Easter egg. We never dyed anything. We never did anything like that.
So the foil wrapped chocolate eggs.
Yes.
You had something.
So
at least.
That's pretty good. Kids would go for candy ahead of real eggs.
She would hide them in the cushions. And then she would hide them.
Explains so much.
She would hide them. They had trinkets and
Exactly.
they had urns inside the former living room.
Any beads?
She would hide them inside the urns of the living room that we had. She would hide them inside little boxes, little wooden boxes that
she would hide
we
them
got from Africa.
inside of sopatillas.
Yeah.
What's a sopatillas?
I don't know. Some of his food.
So, but that's it. So within 5 minutes, the hunt was over, and it was between my brother and I.
So it's a tragic memory for you on Easter.
It's not fun. And then this is the kicker. This is the kicker. Once in a while, Easter would land like basically on my birthday, like it does this year.
Oh,
right.
really?
And
is that a hint?
That's right.
No big deal.
Wow.
And
It's on my calendar.
so when my birthday would come, you know what cake my mom would get me?
I'm giving him a piece of furniture for his birthday.
You know what? My mom would get me
Good job.
whatever cake they were selling that was on sale. She would get me a cake with a big bunny on it because it was the Easter cake
Bargain
sale.
cake.
Yeah, it was on sale.
Yeah, it wouldn't even say my name on it.
So you got screwed by having a birthday that would
Yes.
occasionally. There's music. This is exactly what I was looking
Perfect.
for. This is it.
Put me in the right direction. This is Zamfir.
Yes. Yeah.
So
It's called The Lonely Shepherd.
So all my friends would come over for my birthday party at my
Are you
house.
okay?
Oh my God.
Jesus, are you all
I
right?
just hit myself in the mouth with my electric voice microphone because you made me laugh. It really hurt. I think I'm going to give myself a fat lip. I'm really glad I didn't chip my tooth off.
It looked like you could
careful.
have.
That was funny.
You know, the
So-
spasms are less
I'm
frequent,
sorry.
doctor.
The lonely shepherd made me laugh out loud.
So this is the kicker. I'd have that big birthday, and I'd have all like when you're a little kid, like you're so just enamored with your friends, and you want them to think you're cool,
Right.
And everyone would have Transformers cakes or GI Joe cakes, and my mom, her foreign self, would come out with this big blue bunny because that's what she found at Giant Foods.
That's sad.
Yeah, I mean, and then I'd be like, "Oh, Mom, thanks for the bunny," but everybody would just make fun of
But
me.
at least there was something there. At least there was something for the children.
Nothing sometimes is better than something.
Really?
Nothing. Did you ever have, when you talk about, I wanted to make my friends feel better, I wanted to be cool around my friends.
Yeah.
Did you ever have, this was my childhood, and I want to see if it compares to any other performers. Did you ever, oh God, we got a break here, but did you ever have that moment where you would go away for the summer, and then you were going back after the summer was over to see your other group of friends, and in your own mind you would say, well, it'll be different this time. I'm going to be cool because I did some of this stuff during the summer.
Yeah.
And I had it kind of both ways where after the school year, I would go up to Maine to see all my cousins who mistreated me.
That's
Yes.
right. And also visit that house.
And visit that house where I was the youngest and the baby, so always picked on and always blamed.
That's
and
not the house I meant. I meant the house where you lost your virginity.
No, not that. Stop it.
The French woman's house.
We're not. Stop it.
Great cans.
We're not talking about this.
Okay.
And something would happen like I would have done something on Little League, or I would have hung around the cool
Accomplished
kids.
something during
I
the
would
summer.
have felt driving up. The anxiety level was such with me, and I don't know if you guys ever experienced anything similar. The anxiety level was so much with me that I would be driving in the car, heading up to Maine, going, this is the summer. This is pathetic, really, when you think about it.
No, it's not.
This is the summer it's going to be different.
I think it's
This
more
is
common
the summer
than you think.
that I'm
Yeah,
going to be
we
the
all do
cool
it.
kid,
That's true.
too. And then within
can see that
half an hour, somebody would make some stupid comment, and they'd all laugh at me, and that's why I killed them all.
No, you see, at school, I would never hang out with school friends during the summer because my elementary school was pretty far from where I lived.
So you experienced that.
So I experienced it, and the thing that would be so weird is that every year, and I can remember this, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, say, this is going to be the year. when I get to school. This is
is
going to be a
where
great year.
where you're going to be the cool kid.
I still say it every summer. I said it last August. I said, this is going to be the year.
What it was for me is even if you thought you had something great.
This is the year you won't have phlegm in your throat.
That's right. Even if you thought you had something great, or you'd done something great, you'd show up with the other kids that you hadn't seen for a while and find out that whatever you did, they did something better.
Yeah.
They had something that was more fun, or they got something that was better.
Did you ever experience that as being a child of immigrants?
I was a latchkey kid, so
Right.
it was kind of like, this is the year that we'll do something American and fun.
And
Remember, they would leave me alone.
Were you unnoticed? Were you kind of like, is that the way you were kind of just like ignored?
No, I was noticed because my parents didn't keep an eye on me, so I just would run to people's houses and hang out with them. Remember, they would leave. My parents would leave for work, leave me like $5 to do whatever I wanted with the day, and I was the kid that I'm sure that if any normal parent would be like, does that kid have parents? Because I would be shucking and jiving on people's doorsteps.
There's the Santana boy playing in the street by himself.
That's right.
Well, the sun's going down, Howard.
Kicking rocks.
I don't understand.
Playing with sticks.
The street lights are on, and there's Jabril Santana.
Please, did you ever get like the car that would slow down and go, have you eaten anything yet today?
No, but many a family fed me, and I think the coup d'etat for the Santanas was when my brother was 13 or 14 years old, and we took my aunt's car out for a joyride, and we had all the neighborhood kids inside the car, stacked.
Free range
Jesus,
Oscar.
it sounds like an episode of Happy Days.
Yeah.
No free food for you anymore, Jabril.
No one cared about me after that. I was banned.
Take a break, come back with more. This is the Mike O'Mara Show.
Stand down. See, she forgot all about the library like she told her old man now.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment is brought to you by Weight Not. If you are serious about losing the weight, as so many of our listeners have been, you want to contact Weight Not, and you want to do it as soon as possible. Call 855-WAIT-NOT. That's 855-934-4486.
You know what's great? You lose weight for yourself, and that's great. You'll feel better, you'll look better, you'll live longer. But according to the Huffington Post, Mike, 59% of people surveyed said they wish their lover, their mate, their significant other would lose weight. Way more than half want their other to lose weight. If you want your relationship to improve, lose weight. Call Weight Not. You'll be happier all around.
You can also go to weightnot.com. We talk about their customer service. I know Rob deals with Christy over at Weight Not.
She's awesome.
And really, their customer service, they hold your hand when you need them to hold your hand because it is not easy.
And they
I don't
know that.
care what. They don't use those kind of words. They do fast, they do healthy, but easy, you're making a choice, and you're giving yourself a challenge. Go to Weight Not, show them what you're made of, take the Rob challenge, and your commercial's still running all over the place.
All over the place, and it's available at weightnot.com. Check it out. I look so angry.
No packaged meals, no shakes, just Weight Not. 855-WAIT-NOT, 855-934-4486, and do it today. I wanted to ask Oscar how my juicer is doing. Are you enjoying it?
Used. I actually
is
don't
she using it on a semi-regular? Was she happy to get it back?
My girlfriend is happy to get it back. She is juicing on a regular basis, and it's an effort. It really takes you about 30 to 40 minutes to really juice. I think you remember that.
I have to say, look, you called me on it, and the fact is, I have to admit to what's true. I was super into it, but the bottom line is the amount of produce that you have to purchase for that thing, and the amount of time that it takes to prepare the produce once you get it in. Even though you're just putting that in a juicer, it just it burned very quickly.
You could have eaten the produce in the time it took to make the juice.
Right.
For a while, you were like the Egyptian Emperor Ramses. You were freeing the juice.
I was freeing the juice
every day, and
I felt pretty good.
And you know what? You had such
Couldn't
enthusiasm.
taste the vodka in it.
No, you were making vodka.
It was terrific.
But you had such enthusiasm. I wonder what the average person, and I would have to say all people, buy a juicer thinking they're going to change their life. They're going to change the world. How long before it burns?
Oscar really predicted like 2 weeks, and he was probably...
That's what happened to me.
Because you even said...
I was probably 1 week later than that.
You said you were going to bring it to Florida and make juice for all of us.
I know.
And it never happened. And I was down there parched.
It didn't work. The thing about it that I believe is true, though, if you get into the whole juicing world, if you believe what they say, and I do, it's the idea, the reason it's like, oh, you can just go out and buy a fresh, with no preservatives, fruit juice, but the bottom line is the fruit juice is best for you, I think, when it's made right there. When you take the carrot and boom, and then you drink the carrot, and it's just a time-consuming factor.
You're getting all the fiber. You're getting everything in the fruit or vegetable, not just
drink
the juice.
The carrot, Rob.
Yeah.
I don't want to grab your carrot.
What's interesting about that is because The only reason I said you should use the juicer I have is because, one, I wanted to save you some money because I've seen at least 3 or 4 couples go through this. We're like, we're going to start juicing. They buy a nice juicer because they're not cheap. And then 3 weeks in, they're like, well, I don't even know why we tried that. That didn't really work out for us.
It's all about...
You have to really have the time and, I guess, the psychological commitment to say, this is going to take 4 hours. I'm going to take care of this today.
It doesn't...
And you can't make the stuff in advance, can you? Could you like juice and for like 3 days and then have it?
It's
or
hard
does
to
it
keep.
go bad?
It's hard to keep.
That's the idea, that you want to take it with all the vitamins and all that. I don't know. I'm not one of the people pitching it on TV, but I know that it's better if you drink it right after you make it. And it's just a lot of time, and, I didn't get into it.
Did you enjoy the sneaking of vegetables into it?
Yes.
Like when you would say, well, this tastes like apple. Yeah, but it's got beets and kale and rocks
No,
in it.
I would eat vegetables that I never would eat. I'm not a turnip eater. I would not do that. Beets, for God's sake, I wouldn't go near a beet. I do not like beets, and that made my pee turn red.
Yeah, you know what beets taste like? God made beets because they taste like sweet dirt.
Exactly.
And I don't like it.
And if you concentrate a beet, like if you juice an entire beet, they've got weird, like, little properties to them. There's a little something like making your lips numb and all that kind of stuff.
Really?
Seriously, they talk about beets having some... Did you get that when you're juicing?
Right.
They say, warn you, don't juice the whole giant beet the first time. It's going to make like your wiener fall off or something like that.
Oh, that explains it.
That and again, I didn't necessarily juice. I would watch my girlfriend do it, but she would.
That's a great
she
video.
would. She would add kale to it. She would add beets to it. She would add an apple to it at times, and I mean that was fine.
Did she ever grab the carrot?
But I was never drawn to it because
See how he's ignoring you?
I can't just drink juice.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I need some sustenance outside of just
Something
that.
to chew. Yeah.
What else does she do around the house?
Well, not much because we have a cleaning lady for our 700-foot apartment. No, she does a lot. She does the laundry. We got in a tiff last night though. It really didn't work out too well.
Oh no,
that's a shame.
This is after you were professing your love for. What happened?
What did you say?
Was it juice related?
Why do I even say things?
This is your spotlight. I wanted to. I haven't even gotten to your neti pot.
Boo.
I think America's saying yay.
Okay, so I can't even. All right, fine. Basically, I come home from a long day's work.
If you juice anymore, I'll push you down the stairs again.
I'm slaying the dragon, and as you know,
can you toss me some kale?
On Tuesday nights, I do Big O Nukes, right?
Right.
So I don't get home till like 11 p.m. if I'm lucky.
I know that. I read your Facebook page.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So
what other show do you do? No, I'm just kidding.
I Tech 401 on Monday nights.
Okay, thank you.
good.
Yeah,
I remember that. That's with John Moore.
So I get home and I just walk in and she's making whatever she's making, but she usually goes to bed early, so I was shocked that she was even up. And she says, "Hey, there's something wrong with my phone." And I look at her phone and I said, "Well, yeah, clearly it's not turning on." And she said, "Well, I dropped it." And I said, "Okay." I was like, "Well, we have insurance on the phone. You should just call and get a new insurance phone." So, and mind you, that in my eyes, I'm already thinking, "Well, you should have a case on it." We talked
Are you
about this
being a little
before.
dismissive?
Yes.
Are you being a little curt?
I am.
Because you know how I called you yesterday and I asked if you were okay?
Yes.
You were kind of in a curt way. I think it might be a little pre-China anxiety in your world. I'm just saying. I'm just observing here. I'm a student of music.
It's a reaction to the MSG.
You've
been a little under the weather, have you not?
Yes, and I've been under the weather for the last 2 weeks.
Yes. We all, because the other day I hadn't noticed, and then once I'm like, the shark that smells the blood.
Yeah.
When they alerted me and so they said, "I hope you feel better," and I'm like, "Oh, you felt bad?"
Yeah.
And so I've been noticing that. So you were a little curt with her.
Yeah,
right.
but this is the thing, and she understood once I was done stating my case. When she said that she had, she was thinking of getting a new phone because she had dropped her phone without a case on it. After I've told her a million times, put a case on it.
A million times.
I said, she goes, "Don't you have an upgrade? I could just upgrade with your upgrade." And I said, "I'm not going to reward you with my upgrade because you didn't take care of your."
Oh, that's very not nice.
Of your property.
That's not nice.
And she goes, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Well, I think I do enough in this equation. I think that I was like, I just can't reward the fact that you decided not to put a case on your phone."
At what point does it go from "How was your day, honey" to when you start talking your Oscar legalese about reward?
It's not legalese.
Well, it is.
Because if you let this slide, they take over.
If you spent a little less time with Todd Moore, maybe you'd be a little nicer.
That's right.
I'm the golden child. Let me tell you.
When you find yourself losing your patience, just to count to 5 in Mandarin.
Well, she turned around and apologized. She saw where it was coming from. There's a bigger picture.
She
here.
apologized?
Yes.
Did you apologize this morning?
No.
Really?
That's because I shouldn't.
You're standing your ground.
Should I apologize for really, really taking the majority bulk of this couple's financial burden.
See,
Should
he's
I
talking
apologize?
legalese right there.
Should I apologize for working my ass off to create a future for us? Should I apologize for paying the phone bill and paying for the initial phone? I'm not going to buy her a new phone, and I'm not going to give her my upgrade. That's just the way I roll.
Well, listen, when you're in China, if she needs to talk,
tough love.
Oh,
That's
we're all here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she...
Oh, we got to take a break. We'll come back with more. This continues
from.
after the break. Bye. Did I hit it?
You did. Nailed it.
Or did I not hit it?
You nailed it.
All right, hold on a second.
I tried to give you a warning of 10. I'm sorry. That's on me.
We have a letter. Took a lot of letter writing.
Is it a vowel or
It's
a
about
consonant?
Vistaprint.
Oh, good.
Cool.
We're getting the business cards. You're sending us your business
Yes,
cards
we are.
for Vistaprint, and really, they're thrilled. And when they're thrilled, they help support our show. So you guys rock. Let me grab this other one out here right now. This comes to us from Jeff. It doesn't say where Jeff is from.
Maybe it will on his card.
Oh, Film Dumpster. Okay,
That's the
we'll
name
give him
of
a
his
little
company.
plug. This is another Vistaprint business card you can
That's
see
cool.
here. All right, you like that?
Yeah. Film
Did we
Dumpster.
get that? Now I have to rearrange things, put this back on, and I will tell you, God almighty.
I like
Here
when
we
you
go.
wear crooked
Mike, don't-
glasses, Mike.
Mike, don't forget to give me those cards at the end of the show.
Oh, yeah, because Mark uses these as advertising opportunities.
Thank you.
See, everything takes care of itself.
It's beautiful.
We're like a self-sustaining little farm.
We leave no part of the animal behind.
That's right. Enclosed is a business card for our website, filmdumpster.com, that we purchased through Vistaprint via the Mike O'Mara Show website. We had intended on purchasing cards at the advertised rate. What are you laughing at as I'm doing a commercial?
I'm sorry. Oscar's writing down something that I wanted to say, but Oscar beat me to it.
Okay.
Continue, please.
We had intended on purchasing cards at the advertised rate of $10 for 250 cards, but we found a deal that better suited our needs. 1,000 cards for the low price of $25.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Wow. So if you've got a big company and you want to hand them out to your employees, that's good too. Now, instead of just being douchebags with a website, we are now douchebags with a website and professional quality business cards.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you for all the entertainment that you provide and for the recommendation for Vistaprint that comes from Jeff Heller, filmdumpster.com. Go to Vistaprint.com and get your cards, $250 for $10. Vistaprint, enter our code TMOS in the search bar for the free shipping. That is a deal, everybody.
Spot over?
Yeah, spot is over.
Here you go.
All right.
I think we all thought that.
Yeah. He just beat me to it. I didn't know how to present it.
I might have been surfing some of those websites last night, as a matter of fact.
Looking for business opportunities.
I rarely do this. On the heels of one of my guys talking about an altercation, because it's always been an unwritten rule for me personally that if somebody is talking about some tension in their home life,
right,
I'm not going to counter that with a beautiful thought, but I'm going to lift that restriction today.
Well, can I just, before I get all the hate mail?
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead. You want to wrap it up? I'll allow you to do that before I
Again.
tell you my sweet story about a woman.
Again.
Yes.
About a woman.
She apologized,
Yeah.
and she knows her role, as do I.
Oh.
She knows her role.
Yeah, as do I.
Made a lot of people happy
Well,
with
you
that.
know what's great, Mike? Sometimes when I'm in a hole, you know what I do? I stop digging.
No,
That's what I do.
He's that fiery Latin guy. There's a lot of that fiery Latin, you're the king of the castle guy.
Well,
That's the thing.
You know what seems important. What I hear from you, Oscar.
Yes.
What seems important to you is fairness. That both parties
Responsibility.
right? But the both parties contribute an equal amount because something that comes up with you in these discussions with Shannon is I carry the weight. I'm slaying the dragon. Would she feel the same way? Like if we had her in here today instead of
100%.
you, she would feel
100%.
that she is carrying the burden.
No, she please.
Or no, she would admit that you're carrying the
She
burden.
says, this is what she says to me.
Okay, what does she
and this
think?
is the most wonderful thing a woman's ever said to me in my life. She said that she is blessed to have such a kind and caring and wonderful and benevolent man in her life.
Benevolent?
Yes.
She used the word benevolent?
Yes.
Wow.
Clearly, you've scared her to death.
Or did you? Or is this something you wrote for her?
No.
say?
And she says, she goes, I've never had such a wonderful, responsible provider in my life.
Oh,
Wow,
that's
how long
great.
was she living in a box?
Shannon, I'm home. Okay, I'm down in the basement. Will you let me out? Thank you.
And by the way, folks, that was not the audio.
To each
close
their
it
own.
again, 'cause
It's
you-
what makes me happy, and she makes me happy.
I put this down.
Yes,
Remember I told you boys I had a surprise today
Yes.
that I was going to talk
Here
about?
it comes.
Something truly beautiful. Really one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. And I don't know why, but I just think it's beautiful. And it's my wife's tummy.
I saw her picture
Hi.
on Facebook.
Oscar, it's janitor fighting, and I'm talking about your beautiful tummy. I'm a good boy. Anyway, that's it. I just saw it today. She was coming into the bedroom, and I just looked at this. It's finally really popped, and it's this little
beautiful,
tiny basketball size.
Is it
thing,
wonderful to be with a woman that's so benevolent?
No, you were talking about the give and take.
Right,
it is always going to be give and take. It is the endless age-old battle of I do this and I do this and I do this. And I think that the recurring theme, because I have a great memory when you talk about your relationship, because I'm very fond of your girlfriend.
Yeah, me too.
And I think of you, I've always said, I think of you kind of like an older son.
Yes.
And I always have, I'm fond of both of you, but I remember when you talked about that vacation. Yeah. Where you felt completely taken for granted. Yeah. And I, once again, getting back to the theme of the show where we performers, I think we always feel like we're doing a lot and nobody else is. Yes. And that's just the nature of the way our personalities, and maybe it's all guys, but couples fight. I think couples fight about that more than money, more than sex. Chores. They fight about who's doing what, who's getting what done, and it's constant. And if you can punch through that at the beginning, maybe you'll have a go of it. You know, even when I watched that trashy reality show, The Beverly Hills Housewives, they
get through it.
They've got so much money that they don't have to worry about who's taking out the trash, who's making the meals, who's planning the party. So the Adrian Paul thing, the Maloof lady that split from her plastic surgeon husband, their little deal was he wanted to show off at one of her parties, and that was her territory. So they moved, who's taking out the trash became, who's getting more attention.
Yeah.
And
ego,
it always,
ego.
The ego
There's
thing.
always something.
There's always going to be that little disconnect.
It's divisive, and it's where the split happens.
And it's frustrating. It really is. So did you work it out with her? Or what?
Yeah. She came in and apologized, and I said, babe, it's okay.
Does she watch you use your neti pot when you're blowing like snot out of your sinuses?
No. She actually helped me do that. That was a couple days ago.
And how's that working for you?
I've heard of neti pots in the past. I've never used them in my life. And I said, what is this? And I tried that. And I got to say that there are a couple things at play here. One, you have to be ready for kind of like a magic show with the fluid that goes inside your nose.
It's a really nasty, violent thing to do.
We should explain what it is. It's essentially a small teapot filled with warm liquid
that you pour into the nostril.
Into your nostril, and it goes through your mouth, and you spit it out.
It's and you spit it out. Douche.
First time I remember is when Don used one, and he brought one into the studio, and I've used one in the past. I'm not really fond of it because I think it's a bunch. What's that?
I would never use it.
I think it's a bunch of crap.
It really helped me.
Really?
It did. It did. And what was interesting is that most people, once they do it, they don't realize that they have to do really kind of like side bends and all kinds of movements to get all the water out of your sinuses because it creeps up into your sinuses.
Are you feeling better?
I'm feeling better, but not 100%.
Is this your tummy or is this your head? That's because I haven't. You haven't been hacking or sneezing, and
sometimes I think people get body colds.
Okay,
You seem like
it's allergies. I think it's allergies more than anything else because that's why we got the neti pot because I felt so stuffed up.
You've seemed weary. Like since we've gotten back from Florida.
Logy. That's what it is.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
So everything's fine.
Everything's good, but the neti pot is amazing because if you don't do those side bends, 30 minutes later you'll be walking around. And maybe you'll take a turn to the left just kind of quick, and then fluid will come out of you.
Well, the science on this is still changing. I mean, I think I was the one who introduced the show to it, like in the late 90s.
You raved about it, right?
Right. And that's when I first started reading about it. I tried it for a while, and I didn't really find it that helpful. And there's
I used it the wrong way. I used it rectally.
That's a different product.
Well, I thought it was the same principle, and I had a stomachache after eating a little bit too much of Orville Redenbacher's popcork.
Do not buy the Fleet. The neti pot.
That's the weird thing is the Fleet neti pot. Right. See, I think really, if if your water's hot enough in the house, you can use them for both processes.
I do remember when you used that one, and when you took a sharp turn, and suddenly the water came out.
Have you ever used a Fleet enema?
Oh yeah,
I've used one.
I've never.
Yeah, I'm using one. Using one right now.
No.
Have you used one? Oscar?
I don't even know what that is.
A Fleet enema?
I know what an enema is, but
it's
I don't know.
a disposable enema.
Ugh. As opposed because you won't want to buy a real nice one that you keep.
You buy it at the drugstore. You buy it at the drugstore. It's like a ketchup bottle.
Oh no, I don't.
You fill up with
please
water.
Don't go any further.
Yeah. That's all I'll say.
What happens is you squeeze the bottle and then you clench.
Clench the bottle. Or
I always
everything.
think the reason I'm afraid of those.
Yeah.
And this is my lack of scientific knowledge. I always feel that if you use an enema, it will reverse the bad stuff and send that back to from where, and that's not good.
Get a mouthful.
Yeah, that would be. I know there are valves and
That's right.
pulleys and wheels
also
to prevent
gravity,
that from happening.
Miles of journey.
But
miles of journey.
Yeah, but I always think if you use that and it doesn't work, what if you push the water up that way and you got say a softball up there and it gets stuck even further up and then you got to go further where the water won't come out.
Yeah, that doesn't seem likely.
That seems like a lot of work.
That softball was going to get stuck anyway.
Your body is a wonderful thing, Mike, and it's designed in ways to prevent that.
When
I had prescription enemas, you see. And
prescription enema?
Yeah,
because he had that problem.
See, now you're going to make me throw up.
And I'm not going to go any
talk about
further.
your Duke.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
because
God.
the conversation's been fine.
Yeah, what
till now.
happened?
Doing much better. Better now. They didn't know what it was. For a while, they thought it could be, a polyps. They didn't know. Fissures.
Oh, God.
Because I got very accustomed to seeing them. Very accustomed to seeing the blood.
Jesus Christ.
I'll say that for a few weeks I felt Logie.
I swear to God, I am not. Sometimes my transitions, this is not planned, so please, I'm going to preface this.
with Carla's stomach.
I am going to preface what I'm going to say. This was not my intended point of demarcation on the next subject, but I do want to talk about the gay marriage issue.
Okay, I understand.
I truly do.
Unfortunate.
I note that both Mr. Spiewak and myself, we have posted as our profile pictures, not profile, but our cover page.
Yeah.
You've got it as your profile.
It is
I've got it on my
profile.
cover
The pink
page.
bars.
I've got a similar thing.
You put the pink bars up? Did
No,
you
it's
put
something different, but
it's the pink
I've
sign.
done enough for the gays.
What makes you think you've done enough?
Are you kidding me?
Well, he has to make
the
sure
majority of my radio career was promoting that lifestyle.
he has to make sure the gays are pulling their own weight.
Do you know what I put up? I found this today somewhere on Facebook, and I actually put it as my cover page. And it's a picture of Yoda, and it says here that fear is the path of the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. From Yoda.
That is actually part of the Star Wars pro-gay agenda.
And that's the
Kidding.
And then there's the equal sign in back of that because today's the big day where the Supreme Court is weighing the gay marriage
Started
issue.
seeing the logo about 2 days ago, and I finally had to ask, what is it? Because what I had started to see was actually blue background with a yellow equal,
right.
and that is their standard logo.
I think it's time for everybody that feels like we should have those kind of rights in this country to maybe speak up, and that's what I love about social networking. Right. You can take a day and put it up there. So see the equal sign that Rob's got. That's the one that I think they're trying to have go viral.
They want you to go pink.
I guess that's probably not the best word to use.
That's fine. I think I understand. But well said, Mike.
Sorry.
Funny
boy like that one.
That
was a good joke, wasn't it?
Well,
I'm sorry.
I said they want the internet.
That was in the 80s.
That's an 80s joke. That would have been uncalled for in the 80s. Now it's fine.
They want the internet to go pink or go red. I forget the color they're shooting for.
Red, I think.
But I've seen a lot of complaints about how many people are seeing this pink logo of the equal sign. I love seeing it. I think it's really cool.
Well, you're 10%.
Well, maybe 15.
Yeah, maybe 15%.
But I've got I've got a member of my family. I don't think he should be discriminated against.
When I wrote this down today, I was thinking about the issue, and it's the same thing with Oscar. You drive by him. I think you guys occasionally drive by the Right to Life people that are on the corner that have the signs with their children out there every single day.
Time.
I really do believe this. The older I get, I think maybe the words of George Carlin spurred me on to think about this. We're obsessing over these social issues that just are. There shouldn't be any discussion.
None of your damn business is what it is.
It should be live and let live. It is a free country, and the fact is that you've got, I guess there was an altercation between the pro-gay people and the anti-gay people, and that's how I'm going to simplify it for everybody.
Okay.
But I think that when we're obsessing about this stuff, you have to have these rights. I think it's fair. I never thought that being gay is a choice at all. It is how you are born, and this is the same type of civil rights issues that we had in the 60s and before that and before that and before that. And that's the way I feel about it. But I also think that I get a picture of the fat cats that control the money and control the insurance and control the banks that are just sitting up there going, yes, with their Mr. Burns voice going, yes, let them argue about this, another social issue to distract the minions while we collect the money.
Meanwhile, they're up there, they're trying to figure out the way that no matter how it comes out, how they're going to benefit from it. Yeah, because they'll figure out a way to do it.
Because think about this: if they're legally able to be recognized as a legal partnership and be married for the most part.
Which they should be.
A lot of the language, and I hope they are. I'm for that. A lot of these companies, small, big, large, and even insurance companies are going to have to start covering their spouses.
Right.
So this is a money issue.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. I wanted
people
to
who are against this are against it because of sheer finances.
I want it to be resolved. I want it to be resolved.
Certain strains are.
I want to see it resolved by the Supreme Court so that they say, yes, gay marriage is legal. It is okay. It's the way it should be. It's the law of the land. Then we can move on to being, our old selves about the gay issue and getting excited when somebody comes out of the closet, like Jenna Wolf did today on the Today Show.
Wasn't that great?
That was a special moment.
I like that.
She comes out and they're talking to her, and Carla, doesn't like Jenna Wolf, and I go hot and cold with Jenna Wolf, but I think she's kind of
hot today, right?
She's a compelling. Stop it. Kidding. She's a compelling broadcaster, and she comes out today and said, "We want to make an announcement that she's pregnant," and she says yes, and I believe that was her coming out moment. Correct?
It was the first I had ever heard of it.
I mean, she was never, at least from what I read, never really out, and she comes,
and her partner is another NBC reporter.
Yes, another who I think is very attractive.
Yeah.
They make a very, very attractive lesbian couple.
And what I like is that's
what I want to get back to in America. The fun of gay activity. That's for us heterosexuals. We love following gay people. It makes it fun.
And
I love
watching
having
them,
them,
and
watching
especially
them.
women.
Yes, we
have
like
you ever
having
together.
them.
Have you ever clicked like on the Today Show so that you get their stuff in your feed?
No.
Okay, I got that, and they handled it really cool for a big news organization. They didn't say it was related to what's going on in the Supreme Court.
Right.
They didn't even talk about it as it coming out. They just said we'd like to congratulate 2 NBC employees.
I love the
on
way
their
they handled
impending
it.
child. I thought it was great,
and that's the way it ought to be. At the same time, we'd be lying if we didn't say, you around the office school, the heterosexual community is going to go, did you know she was gay? And it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, and it's great, and
Yeah.
I love that. And I think when I'm completely surprised. I always thought that she was more of the hetero type.
Yeah.
What if the NBC, and this is real inside NBC, but this is a possibility. They said, look, we're getting a lot of heat about the Ann Curry thing. It just won't go away. We need another big story. Who's coming out?
She's pregnant and she's gay.
Yeah.
Put her on the set.
And
Get her on there right now.
That happened right after they said, Al, now is the time for you to make your announcement. And Al Roker said, I'm just not ready. I'm finishing another barbecue cookbook. I've
seen it said, and I agree with this, that 50 years from now, maybe sooner, probably sooner, maybe 10 years from now, we're going to look back at this and think about how silly it was. I mean, can you today imagine that it wasn't that long ago that the black Americans were not allowed to drink at the same water fountain?
Yeah, but are we going to look back on it and think it was? I would not necessarily use your words, silly. I think we're going to look back on it with a great deal of embarrassment.
Oh, sure. Well, that's what I meant.
That we looked at that in our society because that's the way you look back when you see black and white drinking fountains.
Right.
It's really a very, very nasty chapter in our history. And I hope it's 10 years, but it's the same
Women
thing.
not voting, all of that, it seems ridiculous to us now. And
I don't know.
will
I
seem
think
ridiculous.
women not voting actually had its merit.
Oh, God.
That's certainly not silly.
I just put, why do we hate each other? It just seems to occupy so much of our time all the time. And for all of our friends in the gay, I received a controversial letter from somebody the other day that said I went too far when I was making a gay joke. And I've used gay material. I've used the lisp. I've used everything. And comedy, no one is immune when I'm doing the comedy. True. But at the same time, I think it's really clear for me to make my position known on this on a what seems to be a very important day to the gay community to say, we're here at the Mike O'Mara Show. We're with you. I hope that this thing gets resolved. I really would love to see this put. I don't want to say put behind
Say it.
us. Put behind us.
Well, don't say.
See, I can't help.
Put to bed. Put to bed.
I can't help.
No, you don't
myself.
want to put it to bed
put
either.
To bed.
No, you don't want that.
I'm tired of the pushing and pulling.
No.
Not,
But everyone's ready to back you up. So
you're terrible. We're for you.
Absolutely.
We're here to say we're with you.
That's right.
That's from like an old war movie. It is. I forgot which one it is.
We're with you.
We're here to say we're with you. And I think it was Patton. It's Patton when he gets the letter from somebody after he slaps the soldier.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
We're here to say we're with you.
He was gay.
Do you think? And I know we'll talk about this more in the news. Do you think any progress will be made in the courts today?
What's your prediction?
Well, I think the speed of the courts determine that, and I have no idea because I don't pay attention to that type of thing. So we'll see what happens.
I'll try to clarify it.
Good. Sotomayor is really fast, though, but that's just on foot.
Buzz, we'll have the details about that in the news, and that'll be coming up on the Mike O'Mara Show. So check that out a little bit later on. And, one last thing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm with Jimmy Kimmel. I support Jay Leno. If he's having a fight with his NBC bosses, even though I'm not a fan of Jay Leno, I say screw the executive.
I was going to say, please rephrase it. Please don't support Leno. Just be against NBC.
That's right. Remember,
I don't like Jay Leno.
Another philosophy on this show, the suits are always wrong.
That's right.
We'll come back with the audio vault right after this. I want to talk about a wonderful toy that I use every day.
Oh, my.
I love the Smart Smoke Belvedere.
Oh, yeah.
I am so cotton picking addicted to this particular product, and it's not because it is addictive. It's because I just like it. The Belvedere, we don't talk a lot about it when we talk about Smart Smoke. The Belvedere is the size of a regular cigar.
Yeah, it looks like
and it is an electronic cigar, and so it does not stink your house up.
No, it doesn't.
And you can watch a hockey game where your sucky team is losing once again, and you can suck on this thing all night long nervously, hoping that somehow your crap hockey team will actually come back
Stay on point,
and win. I'm sorry.
Stay on point.
Smart Smoke is a wonderful outfit. As Andy Parks would say. Smart Smoke's a great outfit. They have the premium e-cigarette. We've told you about that before. And that has the nicotine you crave without odor, tar, secondhand smoke, any of the carcinogens. Same-day shipping is available, and there is a money-back guarantee. And please try the Belvedere like I do. The Belvedere is just hunky-dory. I love it, and you will too. Go to smartsmoke.com to get your refills. And Mark, you can tell the people at Smart Smoke that I'm going to go out and I'm going to order me about 300 of them.
Oh, nice.
Because I love those things.
When I see
I love them all the
Just
time. I
how
like them
much?
on my motorcycle. I like them watching hockey. I like them when I'm outside, in the car, wherever. I love those things.
It fools me. It
Yes.
fools me when I see it on your kitchen table. I say, lit cigar on your table, very nice.
That is the fun part too. You're standing like in a Friendlies ordering an ice cream cone.
Every
you sit
day.
there and take a pull on it, and somebody looks like at you like a dog hearing a high pitched whistle.
Exactly.
It's fantastic.
And packaging is so important. With Apple, for example, with their packaging, you open it up, you're so excited. Smart Smoke does the same thing, so it's a great gift idea too. You can get a Belvedere in a nice case. They sent you one, Mike, a couple of weeks ago.
Cool.
With the golf tees and like the divot repair tool, which
so
is
it's
very,
great
very
gifts
cool.
too.
So check out Smart Smoke and do it today. Let's open up the audio vault. Did I press it yet?
You haven't opened it yet.
Open it
Thank
up.
you.
It's time for the audio vault, everybody.
Exclusive audio of what's going on at the Supreme Court right now. I want to go to
Really?
this right now.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, here we go. Supreme Court.
I can accept the fact that he's gay, but why does he have to slip a ring on this guy's finger?
I'm sorry, it's the Golden Girls. My mistake.
Why did you marry George? We loved each other. We wanted to make a lifetime commitment, wanted everybody to know.
That's what Doug and Clayton want, too. Everyone wants someone to grow old with, and shouldn't everyone have that chance?
You know what? I hated that show almost as much as I hated Mama's Family, but that's pretty ahead of its time. That aired about 20 years ago.
Can I send a message out to my wife?
Please.
Sure.
First of all, I'd love to have lunch with you today. Secondly, I'm doing the show. I'm in the middle of the show.
Think of the belly, Mike.
Yeah, think of the tummy.
Thank you.
All right, very good.
All right.
But anyway, I just, what?
What were you signaling me about?
Nothing. I was scratching.
Jesus Christ, I got her texting me. I got Buzz waving his thing going, I like that. And I'm just trying. And I got accused of not paying attention to you yesterday. What was that first clip about?
Oh, the Golden Girls.
I was fantastic. I was just kidding.
Two of your favorite people, Mike. Jay-Z and Paul Anka.
There's a fight.
They're a fight.
A fight's
They're
brewing.
having a tiff. Now, I want you to know, I didn't realize, first off, that Jay-Z had sampled Paul Anka singing My Way. And nor did I realize that Paul Anka's voice has gotten so strangulated. I hope this is sped up.
Oh, no.
This is Paul Anka sampled on a Jay-Z record.
Now, the end is near. You believe go wrong? So I face. I'm from the hood, man. The final curtain. No, the real hood, not the rap hood. Real hood. Like
My friends, I'll say it clear.
Pair of sneakers.
So you're not a big Paul Anka guy. But
That's horrible.
It is horrible.
I saw Paul Anka at a casino one time. And he had
Gambling or playing in a show?
He was playing Baccarat, and he had a bunch of people standing around him, and it was like celebrity on the casino floor, and he couldn't look any more like oily Las Vegas.
He is really one of the most unremarkable celebrities. He's just real. There's nothing to him.
But every bit showbiz schmaltz.
Of course, and he'll make a lot of money always because he wrote the theme to the Tonight Show, and also he wrote My Way. Frank Sinatra had the hit, but he has a beef with Jay-Z because he's doing an album of what everyone does now. he can't really go into an album of standards like Rod Stewart because he's already done that. So he's doing duets where he tries to get young hip people to do records with him. Jay-Z will not return his calls.
Any rappers? No rappers. No rappers. No, I thought about it, but I didn't really know which of my songs would land. What I did do is I called up Jay-Z because Jay-Z he did a track of My Way where I loaned him a track.
Okay. Do you like hip Paul Anka? I didn't know where it would land. So I loaned him a track, one of my tracks. I loaned it. Now, what a lot of people probably didn't know that Paul Anka wrote My Way, and he was originally going to call it Anka's Way, but it got confused with this.
Sure,
Anka's Way.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, dear, that's a horrible joke.
Let's move on then. Thank you.
Jeez. So is Jay-Z just blowing him off completely?
Yeah, well, wouldn't you? He's Paul Anka.
But doesn't he get paid? He gets paid when Jay-Z uses his songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Paul Anka gets paid at the same time.
So he's not calling him
back. But Jay-Z, I've read a lot about Jay-Z, and Jay-Z's no wonderful human being either. Jay-Z will go where the money is.
Sure.
And Jay-Z, I think, is responsible for a lot of the, weird kind of decisions about that Beyonce has made in the past.
He didn't let her upgrade either.
What's that?
Nothing.
He would. Well, she's probably he probably has a lot to do with bow down bitches.
Oh, yeah.
He probably has a little bit to do with that. But
I do hear that.
Do you get the impression that when I think about Jay-Z, I always feel like Jay-Z gets kind of a free pass.
Oh, I'm not saying a word about Jay-Z.
Why
that man dealt loads and loads of drugs as a young man, and I'm sure he knows some criminal elements that I don't deal with.
That's why we shouldn't talk about him, because he's so
I'll
awesome.
stay away from that. I think that's awesome. I think that's dangerous.
And I think that he is dangerous, and I think that's why, look, back in the day, it might have been the 80s, but it's the same music executives. And the record companies and those people have always been aligned. And I'm talking about the criminal elements of very bad people. I remember there were these guys that seriously looked like I was watching an episode of The Sopranos.
I know.
And they were all in the pool with their gold chains. And I said, is the mafia here? He said, no, those are the guys from such and such record label.
They'd like to thank you for adding Rick Astley.
And I think that even though record labels have changed and you've gotten certainly more inclusive with record labels.
He's now a big businessman.
But
there are these roots that I'm scared of.
You go back to these roots and stuff like that, but I think maybe that's why he gets the free pass.
I would give him 10 of them.
The least he could do is call Paul Anka, I think. And Paul Anka, I think, would be great for the Super Bowl halftime show next year.
Did anyone see the story recently on 50 Cent?
No,
what happened?
Just his story, as far as coming from the hood and then becoming this huge business guy. Now.
I saw. I was a big fan of 50 Cent when he was relevant. Well, he still is in his own way because of the money he's making off other artists.
Yeah, but certainly not what he used to be.
But that vitamin water deal changed his life. Changed his life.
And you've got guys that are very, very well managed. And I say more power to them with that. I don't necessarily have to love the music to to admire, and you can't argue with what Jay-Z has become as far as a mogul. But I also think that because Jay-Z comes from the hood, you've got a situation where he is given a little more slack than a lot of other performers. You don't really hear a lot about him. If something bad happens, it seems to go away very quickly.
Bulletproof.
So it's interesting. Bulletproof might be the worst term you've ever used.
Then let's say Teflon.
Thank you.
Mark was very excited about the 50 Cent piece. How long did you watch it before you found out it wasn't about coins?
Yeah, it took me the entire episode.
He said, when are they going to talk about the silver stuff?
Hey, I'm going to see that 50 cents show.
I love it. Half a dollar?
2 quarters in the fountain.
You know what voice you haven't done in a long time is Woody Allen. And they did, I believe it was on the Huffington Post, they did a montage of every stammer he did in every one of his movies chronologically. It's 44 minutes long.
Calculated stammers, by the way.
Of course. Yeah. But here's a highlight, let you know what you're missing.
No, I'll it's all, don't you murder, but murder, and for that's minimum, and he's some kind of, but it kind of,
and that goes on for a short 44 minutes.
Jesus,
wow!
I throw myself off a cliff of it.
It is so annoying to watch because you're not getting any punchlines.
Right,
you want to know what they set up.
Right.
And Mike, I want to say that we're nearly towards the end of the show. You're handling it very well.
What?
The bankruptcy of Dionne Warwick.
Dionne Warwick has filed for bankruptcy. The Grammy Award winner owes $10 million, mostly in back taxes. Her publicist blames it on years of negligent financial mismanagement. The 5-time Grammy winner is listing personal assets of only $25,000.
The weird thing is as a member of the Psychic Friends Network, she didn't see it coming.
Wow.
Big dinner plate teeth.
Man,
that's sad.
10
sad
mil. But wait a minute,
she's worth 25 grand. Madonna, it was revealed yesterday, is now worth $1 billion.
But $10 million that you owe isn't that? It's I know they can come back and bite you in the ass,
right?
Like years down the road. But don't you kind of get a feel for that as each year goes by? That doesn't just you don't wake up in the morning.
No, there's
and
probably
they
a
settle
payment
you.
plan that breaks down, and if you miss those
No,
payment
he's saying,
plans,
wouldn't you see it coming?
Yeah.
Not if you don't watch your money.
I mean, if you go back to 2005, they give you a little thing in 05 and 06
you gotta
and
peek
07.
into it. It's kind of like the same question you ask of someone who weighs 800 pounds.
Right.
When did you realize you were really, really fat?
Yeah.
I think really there are advertisers on WTNT that can help her.
Some of them coming up shortly.
Thank you.
Did you know the
And I want to
reason-
thank some of those. I want to thank those advertisers. We've been on since January. I'd like to thank them, and Buzz especially would like to thank them for the $106 that they paid us.
That's right. That used to be
I told you it would be profitable.
That's a value.
Do you know that she changed the spelling of her name to Dionne, I guess, in the 80s?
Yeah.
She did it because the psychics told her to.
Oh, good for her. Well, that's how it works.
Yeah, and it's working out well for her. So my fingers are crossed for Dionne Warwick. And we close. Oh, did you know that Bill Gates is using his money to give back? He wants to reward the person that can design the best condom ever because he thinks it would help with controlling disease and population.
Or is he just a horn dog?
Well, there might be that too. But anyway, Conan had a take on that.
Bill Gates is offering $100,000 to anyone who can design a better condom. Yeah. Of course, what guy wants to buy a condom from a company called Microsoft?
That's your magic audio ball. And you know what, Dion? Solidarity, baby.
Hang in there,
baby.
And to the gays, we're with you.
Right on, Mike.
We'll take a break. And speaking of that story, Buzz has a lot on it coming up next, right here on the Mike O'Mara Show.
That's your wonderful Rick Ocasek impression.
I know I'm wearing my brand new Capitals sweatshirt, which nobody's commented on.
I was still staring at the $50 hat.
But is it warm in here?
A little bit.
No,
or is it because I'm wearing the sweatshirt?
My feet are freezing.
Yeah,
you should feel my toes.
Oh,
really?
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
God.
All right, old man. We won't turn the heat down.
No,
Sorry
there's a
about
draft that comes out from under that door, right over here.
We'll get you an Afghan.
Put your hand down by that door.
All right, thank you.
Put your hand down by the door.
Let's get the news. Let's get the news before he freezes to death.
Before he flips
Don't
out.
worry,
All right.
after the show, Buzz, we'll sit you in the sun.
Well, the news today is brought to you by the Mike O'Mara Show Amazon page, and now you can save up to 70% on all jewelry just in time for Mother's Day, Father's Day, graduations. If kicks are more your style, save up to 60% now on athletic shoes. Save money and support the show. The banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com takes you directly to your account at home, school, church, or work. Shop through MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. Recently, you asked me, Mike, about my past experience writing monologue-type jokes for disc jockeys.
Yes.
And what occurred to me as I was driving to work this morning is that I heard on the radio, and this is absolutely true, a new study says that people who are pessimists, people who are pessimistic are healthier and live longer than people are optimistic.
It's funny that you bring that up. You should have come to the rehearsal yesterday. That is the subject of our bonus hour this week. I talked about it with you guys yesterday. We're going to have an entire show on pessimism.
Well,
that's
that's
an
a
article.
tease.
That's an article out of the Boston Globe that I was.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting article.
Well, I'm not going to hold my breath.
About
about
optimistic.
It's the punchline.
That's your line
on the
that
other
I totally screwed up.
It's all
for
right.
you.
It worked just fine.
But no, we're going to have on the bonus hour this coming week. It's going to be what are you, a pessimist or an optimist? The great article on the Globe that Buzz just referenced. Also, who the biggest optimist is on our team. We're going to talk about that. Does working in media make you a pessimist? Politicians, I think, inherently pessimistic. Does anyone know of an optimistic comedian? I mean, all these things will be the subject of our show. So
He is the optimistic comedian.
Okay, if you think that's going to be a good show.
I doubt it. I really doubt it, Buzz.
All right, so here's the breakdown of the two gay marriage questions being considered by the U.S. Supreme Court. Yesterday, the judges listened to arguments for and against California's Proposition 8, which limits marriage to a man and a woman. The court's made up of 4 liberals, 4 conservatives, and Justice Anthony Kennedy, who, pardon the expression, swings both ways.
Nice.
In thinking out loud yesterday, the the justices seemed shy about ruling in favor of gay marriage, arguing that it might be too soon on history's timeline to make such a big decision.
Yeah, that's a wimpy attitude.
But tiebreaker Kennedy expressed concern about the children of gay couples being left in a kind of legal limbo without a solid positive decision from the court.
Limbo lower now.
In other words, he sounds like a yes for gay marriage. Now, the court, when it announces its decision in late June, could vote either way, or it could decide not to make a ruling at all. If that happens, the lower court ruling that struck down California's ban on gay marriage will stand, which means gays in California can once again get married. That's if the Supreme Court doesn't decide. A decision for or against gay marriage by the Supreme Court, though, would set a precedent for other states. Failure to decide would not set a precedent.
And how much does the packing of the Supreme Court with conservatives affect this issue? I'm sorry.
It's a well-packed court, Mike.
That's terrible.
Today,
they know where I stand.
Yeah,
I can
not?
make a little joke occasionally.
Let's stand behind them.
Of course
really?
You can.
Come on.
I don't get it.
Right.
Today, the court will hear pro and con arguments on another roadblock for gay marriage. That's the federal government's Defense of Marriage Act, which, among other things, prohibits married gays from receiving about 1,000 legal benefits enjoyed by married heterosexuals.
Do you remember, Mike, when we did the Defense of Marriage Act? It was very popular.
It was so much fun. Rob wore a tuxedo, and I wore a floor-length Marilyn Monroe gown from when she sang "Happy Birthday" to Jack Kennedy.
There was singing, there was dancing, there was timely jokes, and also Mike did his routine with the canes.
Yeah, and at the very end, our finale is when we did the song from the Birdcage.
He saw the dress. He said, "Put that in the act." The Defense of Marriage Act.
We are family.
Now, the Defense of Marriage Act, or DOMA as it's known, also defines marriage as between a man and a woman, and that's the specific part of the law that's being challenged. The decision was really about an 84-year-old woman who married her same-sex partner of 20 years when the partner died and left the woman with her estate. But because they were a same-sex couple, the surviving partner had to pay $250,000 in taxes that a heterosexual spouse would not have had to pay.
Because they were not recognized legally.
Right.
The taxes were astronomical.
$336,000 she had to pay.
And it's just a crime. I mean, because these people were together in a committed relationship
for a lifetime.
For decades.
Right.
And
you and me, Mike.
I mean, really, even on its legal merits, I think that it's only fair to rule for that woman. And
absolutely.
We'll see what happens. And once again, always a good excuse for Americans to hate each other.
Yeah.
So stop your hating. Let it go, and put an equal sign up there on your status page today.
And come see the act.
Yes, our act, the Defense of Marriage Act.
Right.
Rob and I are fantastic. We update it regularly.
We're going to be at the Lazy Susan.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Dinner theater.
Yeah, Johnny Holiday canceled for the week, so we're going to be at the Lazy Susan Dinner Theater. And I'll tell you something. When Rob does his tribute to Melissa Etheridge, you do not want to miss
you're going to
that.
love it. I wear a wig.
It's fantastic. And I do Peter Allen, of course, to end the show. Copacabana.
Yes, it's so good.
Don't miss it.
The boy from Oz.
Right.
The freakish snowstorms that started this first full week of spring broke a few records. The snows that fell Monday and Tuesday were bigger than previous storms for those dates. In one case, a record set over 100 years ago. In St. Louis, where more than a foot of snow fell on Monday, a guy accidentally slid his car into a car being driven by a woman on I-70. He got out of his car to apologize, and she shot him repeatedly.
God.
He'll be okay. She'll be in jail.
Wow.
In Lumberton, North Carolina, a 10-year-old boy was accidentally shot and killed by his father, who was cleaning the family's 12-gauge shotgun at the time. Despite the more than 3,000 shootings in this country in the 3 short months since Sandy Hook, America's passion for new gun controls is fading. A new CBS News poll shows support for tougher gun laws has dropped by 10%. It was 57% right after Sandy Hook. Now it's 47%.
As a nation, we get bored faster than anything else in the world.
And it will, listen.
And that's why things don't change.
Maybe not even in my lifetime, maybe not in my kids. This is going to bite us in the ass, people. I'm not talking about this gun law, but what Rob said. Our short attention span and our love of nothing. You know, so watch out. Be careful.
Finally, we are susceptible when we're drunk. In England, a 29-year-old man had a few too many, so he was easily talked into buying a snake from a stranger. Unfortunately,
I like it so far.
It was a rare and deadly 10-foot-long African rock snake, which can swallow an antelope or a human whole.
Wow.
The now sober young man is facing charges for receiving stolen goods. And when 31-year-old James Watson of Arlington, Virginia got hammered and passed out on the couch, his roommate drew a cartoon of male genitalia on his face, pointed at his mouth.
Yeah, baby.
See, that's not good.
When James awoke, he got angry and he got even by pummeling his roommate. James was then arrested for battery, but the worst of it might be that the drawing didn't wash off easily and is now permanently recorded on James's mugshot. I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
I like that. That's good stuff. I'll look for that one online as soon as the show's over.
Nice.
Hey, thanks a lot to Encore. They support us on WTNT, and it's great that you, our listeners, are supporting Encore Insurance Services. Get a free quote. Doesn't cost you anything and can save you a ton of money. Call 866-347-5748. They'll compare the rates. They'll help you save, or you can go to smartterm.com. Let them know you appreciate them because they support us so wonderfully on this show. That's it. We got to roll on out of here. We will be back tomorrow with another brand new show. And remember, for Friday, it's all about pessimism, and including a fabulous last question for the gang.
I don't know, Mark.
That I'll hold up. I don't know if it's going to be that good. I'm really not sure. Fun. Take care. So long. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
See you at the theater, Mike.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.